Okay, Mr. Husband Candidate. How would this work? Okay, I'm not going to pick anything out of your personality because that would ruin you passing every test. So let me think of a husband that's different than you and show you how he would make it to be the greatest things ever known. Just figure out a husband you would never be, personalities and skills and behaviors you would never have, and how the hell how do I measure it out without ruining your test? Okay. I just picked a husband that is nothing like you to any extent and has made it. Okay. This is how it'll go. Wow, look at the whack job idiot loser nobody at the Motel 6. She can't really stay alive or exist at the Motel 6. It's like somebody makes her extra somebody makes her extra dead and gross so she can't even enjoy a Motel 6 room and gets everybody to participate in abusing her death till she can't even have any real sleep or restful sleep or be able to watch any TV show without total, disgusting, overdone, sickening destruction of her death. And it's like everything abuses her on overload but tries to hide. And she never gets to have a moment of freedom or peace or anything to herself. It's like they obliterate her death and suffering on purpose, in secret ways constantly. Well, oh my gosh, I'm a husband, but I already realized that I give a shit. And she's being unthinkably mistreated in death by everything, but they just won't admit to it. You can tell that she sleeps in the car, but as soon as she gets to a Motel 6 room, it's like they don't want her to have 1 ounce of happiness or peace and sleep or anything. And she sleeps in the car and wakes up in every nightmare as if they have done everything they could in a billion ways. But they act like she sleeps in the car and gets some form of sleep. So it's so generous compared to being rotting in death in Motel 6 rooms. And every sickening, death overloaded thing they can do to her in Motel 6 rooms. And they act like they're so generous by the sickening, unthinkable things they do connected to the car. And as a husband, I already realized that I give a shit. But what am I gonna do? Everybody's hurting her, and deep down I know. Well, I helped everybody to make sure she had enough money. But nothing ever goes good. What do I do? Oh my gosh, these countries are probably so harassed and so threatened, so stalked and so mistreated. What do we do? Well, I'm a husband. I know that I care about her because I can realize how sickening these people really are. I know what I need to do. I need to connect to these gods through my queen, and be everything I can be for everybody. My queen. I loved Bonnie enough to realize what they're doing to her, whether they'll ever admit to it or not. And what they are so fucking sickening beyond words. She never ever has anything but suffering and death, and you can tell. And they won't leave her alone, and everything they do, they understand how much they're abusing her death. Constantly, what do we do? Well, I am the god of my queen. Those of us that are gods through my queen are the very few that do live on and are still worthy. Well, I suggest you find this country in secret. Let me lead you to them. Well, hello, country. You care about Bonnie too. So I guess you know that there's nothing they don't do to her. What are we gonna do? Sir, I'm the God that led you to this country. Would you like to drown in her death? It's the most powerful, intelligent, invincible reality you could ever be. Well, what does it entail? What does it all mean? Do I turn into the opposite of these really bad, gross zombie people? Well, let me help you to understand. I drown into her death, and I get really hateful, really smart, really dead, and I win a really lot. And I can hurt people, I can hurt anything, I can hurt everything, just like it's nothing. Then I could keep her safe, and she could at least have a night at the Motel 6. Now, God's through my queen, my queen, my queen. Was there anybody good left connected to the United States of Dubai? Oh my gosh, no. And that's why nothing ever goes good. None of them make it. But they're all so horrifying to her. And now I know the evidence and the secrets and the details. I want to help this country. I want to help our Bonnie. I want to help these countries. I want to go to the island of gods. I want to work with all of you. I want to get us all through this. That is a husband worth something. Looking at the dead, joke, homeless loser, nothing God. Just like everybody. Seeing my fucking bad days or good days just like everybody. Watching how my death falls out when I go to the bathroom, but they also do 5 billion disgusting, horrifying things, but I'm always going to think it was 20 years ago, or kill him forever for anything and everything. And that's just some husband that cared enough to pay attention to the details and realize everything is doing something gross and won't stop. A husband willing to work through my queen, my queen, my queen, and find out from gods they're all bad and acting good and forcing me to act like they're good so they can mislead people into death. Now, how long do I have to pretend they're good when they're not? I pretend they're good when they're not to lead people into death because I don't like anyone. When they are not sickening, unthinkable people, I help them to find the truth. Just like that husband. That husband was proving he cares enough to just pay attention. It's that bad, and if you just pay attention, you'll always know. Then I help that husband to realize my queen, my queen, my queen, and all those gods are going to tell you all the secrets, all the evidence. It's all you need to know. And all you need to do beyond that is find a country with too much evidence that knows and wants to be good, survive, and live on. And you will sit in a corner with all the answers, like everybody else, and realize that life is just really that scary, and 5 billion tons of very, very sickening things have to be killed for a living. And that's the real problem, is that they won't get off of anybody's death. But that's how they were always winning. They were always winning by sitting on death. So, these people learned from evil god enemies that I am a dead god and I'm created to die forever and win forever and kill forever. So they learned from evil god enemies to do the most sickening, unthinkable things to my death constantly, hoping I'd die once and for all and they'd get away with it all. Now they are unthinkably addicted to the most sickening, overloaded things you can do to death. And they will sit mercilessly on my death and dead carcass all the time till it's just the most sickening thing ever known. And they don't care. And they just want to get everybody in the general public to do sickening things. And there's nothing else. They know they're dead forever. They want everybody else to do some criminal thing against me and be dead forever. And they're like robot zombies. They don't care about anything else. And they all know they did it. So the only way you're going to make it to be this prize-winning, award-winning husband is to find your own path that proves why you should find anyone and get anywhere. You see how that husband had to use his own love, his own brain, and realize that though there was no evidence, why would you seem to sleep decent in the car, yet he knew a lot of gross bad things? And then you're always so dead and destroyed and fucked up in some Motel 6 room. And he put together himself. Oh my God, these countries do the most sickening shit when she's going to be in a Motel 6 room because they just don't want her to be happy and comfortable and get rest or peace or happiness to any extent, because they're murder overloaded gross things that have to die forever. And when she's in the car, even though it seems like anything, it seems like there's something always gross that others understand. But see, you have to develop a give a shit. When you develop a give a shit, you easily see it, whether there was obvious evidence in front of you or not. Because most of the time, if there's obvious evidence, everyone tries to get rid of everybody. So you'd see what they do to pretend or blend in. But real care would still understand that something's very sickening and scary and wrong. Because there's just too much. When that husband shows that he's conscientious, paying attention and gives a shit, he finds the open doors. And the open doors lead him to everything. And becoming a husband, he did drown in my death. He's unthinkably powerful and smart now. But even if you give the right answers and you care and you pay attention and you pass enough tests as husbands, gods might still just lead you to all the answers. You may not end up my husband. You might end up some other husband or some other ending. But that's how you get past this stupid acting. Do I spend any of the money that my omnipresence gets to spend? No. Do I ever have 1 ounce of happiness connected to my omnipresence out there living every dream in every house around the world? No. I really do live like dead, degraded garbage. So that husbands will only see what I've really actually went through. And husbands will only see what's really actually real and going on. And you will never understand how much I'm winning or not or anything else till you find those countries that have all the evidence. Good luck.